Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Craig Perro with Sex Afflictions and Porn Addictions, a podcast to help you create healthy sexuality and create a great life. And it's for, this is for everybody. This as I'm talking to people in all walks of life, and I've worked with people struggling with all sorts of other addictions, to food, to drugs, to alcohol. And these are life skills, and using our weaknesses, our vulnerabilities, our soft spots, where we loathe ourselves as powerful opportunities for growth. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. This is for everybody. So if you're here, welcome to my podcast. Today, I want to talk about one word, one very, very powerful word, and that is why. Why? I want to talk about it from a death perspective and introduce a powerful teaching that really had an impact on me. And for any of you who have contemplated suicide, who have thought of leaving this earthly plane, pay attention, because I hope you connect with it as much as I do. And then I want to approach that question from a life perspective. Death first, then life. And I look forward to you leaving this podcast with a much deeper understanding of your why. Your why. And by that, I mean, what the fuck are you doing here? Why? Like, what is this all for? What is your contribution? Why do you do what you do? See, the answer to this question is so important. It's so important because if you are listening and you are struggling with any form of compulsive behavior, you're getting your needs met through that behavior. There's positive attributes to that behavior. I don't care how bad it is, it's doing something for you. It's doing something for you. So what is it doing for you? All of your negative behavior is a function of your unmet needs. Think about that. All of my negative behavior is a function of my unmet needs. Say it with me. All of my negative behavior is a function of your unmet needs. So powerful needs aren't getting met in your life, so you're getting them met in an unhealthy way because you have lost or never had a true understanding of your why. Of your why. Why is the fuel, is the passion that carries you through the darker times and elevates you through the good times. And I believe, as does Viktor Frankl, as does Tony Robbins, as does insert name of great person who may have influenced you, that understanding this why is critically important to counterbalance your biologically hardwired triggers, to counterbalance the decade of programming wired in you around your automatic instantaneous thoughts, to counterbalance the reality that life is suffering. Life is hard. We live, we die. It is inevitable, a quest for something, and that gets into our unmet needs, our core human needs. We've talked about significance in this podcast. Wanting. Life is hard. Life is hard. And so this concept, and you guys can see here, if you're looking, you can watch it on video, my new tattoo. So for those of you who can't see, there is a skull and wings on the side, and above it is the words Memento, mori. This is an old Christian gravestone from the 1600s, back when I used to live in New England. And the symbol stuck with me and totally related to what we're talking about. Memento mori, remember death. Remember death. And that isn't a morbid thing. It's not like, oh, I'm going to die. This is terrible. But what do we all have in common? What does everybody on this earthly plane have in common? At a minimum, you are going to die. And here's the other piece. Despite actuarial tables would give us an average of when you're going to die, the true fact of the matter is that you have no idea when that is going to happen. I have no idea when that is going to happen. It could happen the moment I log off this podcast. I'm not afraid of that. I'm aware of that. I don't dwell on it, despite, having it tattooed on my arm. I don't dwell on that part of it. I use that awareness to counterbalance the sweat and the small stuff, getting pissed off over little things, not embracing this moment, the beauty of this moment right now, me sitting in my kitchen talking to you, thinking about all the shitty things, all the bullshit things, all the problems, all the first world problems that I have. I'm going to die. I don't know when that day is going to be. So I'm going to do everything I can to live the best possible life that I can. Because, gosh, I'd hate to leave anything on the table. I really would. Not with what I've discovered about myself and how I've learned to love myself. And a critical component of understanding, hey, listen, you're going to die. Okay, well, that sounds morbid, doom and gloom. Holy crap. Well, let's jump right into that why part around death. So Viktor Frankl used to start his therapy session. So Viktor Frankl, the author of Man's Search for Meaning, a phenomenal book that you should absolutely read if you want to have a better understanding of your why. He built logos therapy, a form of therapy centered around this question. And check this out. Here's how we used to start his patient sessions. I want you to picture yourself there sitting in front of him. Maybe you are as low as you've ever been. And you picture you guys listening, gals listen, you've been low. Bring yourself back to that place. Bring yourself back to that lowest place maybe that you've been. Maybe you've thought about killing yourself. I stuck my face into a pile full of bath salts. Not the kind you put in your tub, the synthetic chemical. Now, I didn't know if it was enough to kill me. But in that moment, there's a part of me that wished my heart would explode and I wouldn't make it home. Well, I lived and I felt like really, really shitty for the next few hours. I had to sit in the tub all curled up, getting water put on me and just shaking and jittering and wishing I was dead. So I'm at my low point. You get there too. And you walk in to see this old dude. He's going to help you. Scheduled an appointment. You sit down. His first question is, why don't you commit suicide? What? Huh? No, really. Why don't you kill yourself? It's tough to do these days with liability. And let me make things absolutely clear. If you have ever taken any passive, active step towards doing it, where it moves beyond the realm of, we all wish at various points in our lives, at least I think most of us do, that we're going to kill ourselves. But if you take any active steps in that regard, you get help immediately like I did. You get help immediately. That is a mental condition. You are not driving the bus anymore. Another part of using control, and that part needs some serious help, right? Immediately, boom, get it. So for most of us, 98, 99+% of us who really don't want to do that, who really, really, really don't. If you do, get help immediately. Okay, that's the last time I'm going to say it. And you don't have to be that bad to get help either. See, this is my lawyer mind now. It's going fucking crazy. Like, wait, what am I going to say? What do I going to do? Don't kill yourself. what we are talking about. Suicide and this therapeutic approach that Viktor Frankl took. And from that answer, he would help people understand their why. Why? Why are you here? What is your meaning? What is your meaning? So he would use that death, that choice that we all have to end this, yet we don't. And I certainly didn't want to. It was a cry for help, cry for attention, a scream for out of control. So why? What is your meaning? What is it that you want to accomplish? And so now we move that into life. Right? And any coaching model, I think that's worth anything, will have some recognition, therapeutic model, whatever self-help, whatever it is you're trying to do, to have some element of you understanding that why. I think it is absolutely critical for you to understand that why in a very, very discreet way, in a very discreet way, specific way, like written down on paper. Be willing to give yourself what any mid-level, basic, simple project for work would require. Some element of documentation to, the change control or adding this, or pick your field, whatever it is, whatever your field is. Think of all the little stupid things that you're going to write down. Your life isn't important enough for you to have clarity around that why in life. What is your meaning? Where does that passion burn? What is it that you want to accomplish? So when you are at that end, back to death again, and you are, according to the actuarial tables, 83 years old or whatever it is, and you're lying there and your family's around you and you're near the end. Wow, you made some mistakes. Whew! Those were doozies, but I made right. I done good. I've loved. I've lived. I've experienced profound sadness and pain. And I've experienced intense joy and love and connection. Right? That's where I want to be, brothers and sisters. Where do you want to be? So I invite you to identify your 6 major life areas. And I'll give you the ones that I use. You've heard them before. Your career, your finances, your health, your hobbies, your relationships, your spirituality. And identify the why. Right? Why do you want to accomplish these things? Now, obviously, this is done in context of goal setting. We've talked about strategic planning in other podcasts. What is it that you want to accomplish in all these different areas? Okay, you get that. You know you need to do that. I want you to take it a step further. I want you to understand the why. Let me reflect on some of Viktor Frankl's words. Actually, read them. Read them. The way in which a man accepts his fate and all the suffering it entails, the way in which he takes up his cross, gives him ample opportunity, even under the most difficult circumstances, to add a deeper meaning to his life. It may remain brave, dignified, and unselfish. Or in the bitter fight for self-preservation, he may forget his human dignity and become no more than an animal. Here lies the chance for a man either to make use of or forego the opportunities of attaining the moral values that a difficult situation may afford him. And this decides whether he is worthy of his sufferings or not. Let's think about that for a second. Look these up, by the way. Just Google them so you have them in front of me. Here's another one that I think really frames what we're trying to accomplish here today. And to make it clear that this is not an easy exercise. This exercise in my program, my one-on-one program with guys, this is like whoop, 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 danger, high relapse alert. Whenever men start looking at where they want to go and why they want to get there, this brings up all sorts of fear, self-loathing, not good enough. Here's what he says, and this is important. Man's search for meaning may arouse, I'm going to start that again. Man's search for meaning may arouse inner tension rather than inner equilibrium. However, precisely such tension is an indispensable prerequisite of mental health. He is saying it's a good thing. There is nothing in the world, I venture to say, that so effectively helps one to survive even the worst conditions as the knowledge that there is a meaning in one's life. There is nothing in the world, I venture to say, that so effectively helps one to survive even the worst conditions as the knowledge that there is a meaning in one's life. Think about your challenges. Think about your pain. Think of the input that is producing the output in the form of your addictive behavior. Think of the suffering of this journey, because here's the goal. And listen, I wish I could be at this place without have hurting anybody, maybe even just myself. But here I am. Here I am. And I've done everything in my power to make it right, not from a place of self-loathing and self-deprecation, but from a place of recognizing my value, my inherent worth. And that started with cultivating a deep sense of love for self. And in that journey, understanding that why, allow that love to blossom and to bloom and to flourish into the life that I've created for myself today, which is freaking amazing. Absolutely amazing. I cannot believe I've turned this shitstorm of a fucking mess that I made into something so beautiful. I used this crisis. I used this place where I abrogated my power of choice. I've used this place where I allowed the worst version of myself to express himself. I've used this to create great love, connection, healing, hope. And that's what you got to do. You got to get to a place where you look back and say, I'm grateful for the experience. Now listen, no one's grateful for inflicting pain on other people, but you cannot change the past. I mean, did you see Lion King? Did you listen to the song Hakuna Matata? Right? And the monkey later hits him on the head. Like, listen. Like, come on. That shouldn't rob you of the blessing, of the gift of using your crisis as a gift to powerfully change your life. And part of that journey is connecting with the why. Why? Why? Why not die? Why live? And so look at your career, your finances, your health, hobbies, your relationships and spirituality. And after you throw down some simple goals, why do you want to accomplish them? Why is that where you want to direct your most precious resource of time. See, this why connects in a very deep way to our most precious resource. Why? Because memento mori, it says it right here. Remember death, you are going to die. So the why allows you to allocate that time in a way that's going to maximize your return on the investment of breathing, living, existing. Be great. Do something special. Take that risk. Life is short. So understanding your why will have a major impact on, forget about recovery, on life. Stop chunking things up in all these little columns. When are you done with recovery? When are you finally moved to starting to live? Start executing on your why. Start executing on your why. So, thank you guys for listening. I love talking about this stuff. I'm so grateful that some of the feedback I've gotten from so many of you, and a number of you are joined in my online program. And I just want to tell you guys about that for a second, right? Just bear with me, okay? So in that online program, right, that's now $49 per month, we have 5 group coaching calls per week. 5 group coaching calls per week. One of those calls is with Coach Tara, a partner of a porn addict, right? And she had her own struggles. We got a call where she can help you with your partner and all the problems that you're having and ask a question of like, what do I do? We got your back. I run 2 calls, crosstalk, encouraged. Powerful, powerful friendships and accountability partners have been forged on these calls. Coach George runs another. Coach Adrian runs another. And the point of me blabbering on about this is we just added a mindfulness class. And this is the mindful habit. So if you're paying attention, mindfulness is really, really, really important. Really important. So I started teaching a mindfulness class, little yoga, more mindfulness. So anyway, check it out on the website, themindfulhabit.com, if you're interested in elevating and taking what you're learning on this podcast to a deeper level and really in a step-by-step structured way. So that's it. That's only if you connect. And the first month is, you get your money back if you don't like it. So we're cool. We're cool. So thank you guys so much for listening. I look forward to catching you on the flip side. Peace and love. Bye.